David for BigBits and a technical analysis. Also going over some things that have happened last live stream having. And then also going into upload, but okay, here in the near price action. Uh, let's just say there are a thing that are happening around the world that we cannot predict. Seems like every time there is another attack, real Iran, somewhere in the Middle East, seems like price drops pretty quickly. Here's the sort of algorithm of that sell pretty quickly. So if things started getting serious, price drop. That is kind of like that black swan type deal. You can't predict the black swan, but what we can predict, there is a risk of serious inflation, and that's not. Now, looking at the current TA, I just want to go ahead and describe what the lines are about. Probably getting your attention first, watching the video here. These are what I believe are the most likely scenarios. I'll explain to you why in a moment. But the way I see the bull market on right now, I think solid area. If I were to lean one way or the other, it would be a short, but I'm getting some um, signal on my end. So, middle of a range. It looked like getting rejected at here from the moving averages, and my stochastic advanced indicator is like it's so that's something to keep an eye on as well. The upper Bollinger bands are starting to slide down. If I had to guess, we were coming back down train, but also test the 100-day moving average. Also test here after a period of consolidation. So if you're going to look at patterns like timer, a lot of times in touch the average, bounce off of it, climbing higher during that cycle. Perhaps time around 100 period average. Something to keep an eye on. And if that is the case, quicker move up. It otherwise, if things kind of get late, things first, these very easily test that for days doesn't look very promising. Something inevitably happens, right? That's enough to push the price underneath the break down quickly and then consolidate and pull up trend. But either way, I see the downside here, but let's let the daily candle close today because what I am looking at here is we have RSI. The smooth RSI is a positive trend right now. And here's the green now. So that means that trend is changing well. So these two look like they are flipping bullet. Meanwhile, my stochastic advanced term down. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go down. While we're watching the close today closely, I do believe close today red. I would be much more confident close the day green. I believe I'll consolidate a little longer. One thing I am not going to get a solid close today above take off at any and I say this for a lot of reasons. I'll go into fundamental why I believe that's so, but I really believe that May things are going to pick my. So we've taken a look here at the daily. I kind of conflicted. I not really solid trade opportunity, in my opinion, here right now. So there is an opportunity. We'll dig into time frames that looks to be accurate as well on those. But go ahead and remove these from my chart. Blue lines were the trends down. I was pretty hopeful casting advanced its trend, but nobody trades it. My custom indicator, so I'm not too worried about that. We are pretty much right on line with the RSI trend downward. Just something to keep an eye on. Go back down below it again. Come down in price. Indicator will come down, and then that would be perfect. Honestly, go back to drawing I had. Price does that, like we were talking about. RSI come down, up, and as it breaks moving average here on price, it also break RSI resistance up there as well. So that would honestly be timed very well. Type of why probably the one I have the strongest conviction on at the moment. What's going to happen? RSI on there, but I might hide it. There we go. I did want to take a look at X, go any further, so understand what's going on. We understand the big picture. Start looking at the. All right, so going back to the last live, Grayscale moved a base. Most likely, it's an order to sell. Dig into those numbers. They are now talking about not being able to reduce interest rates. Kind of bad news in that area. Grayscale, in they're out down to 46 million. And of course, I had to chime in. We gave $95 billion out. Dollar. I just don't know how they given all this away, printing money, whatever they need. Dollar not. How does the dollar do well when all billions and billions of it valuable currency as far as ability and a very interesting flow Bitcoin last week. A lot of bullish wick. Take a closer look at go real day. A lot of wick are a good sign that there are a lot of buyers in the area. So we'll dig into this a little bit more. Actually, chart. That's something I like. Price back off. Again, we're approaching. Now we are at above RSI and stochastic trend. Nobody trades the indicator, but my indicator does clearly still represent downtrend, but a lot of people at RSI trends on RSIs close to try on does appear to be breaking out of that trend, but still very close. It could retest lower bound. You gotta keep that in mind. So more people report owning Bitcoin ETFs in their fund. Know this information's come out in Grayscale ETF flow continues to be reduced quite a bit, 35. And further detail here, model app, great chart. So the outflows on have been decreased very low levels, similar to back here around February, the middle part of February. And they smaller and smaller as of yesterday. We had 35 million out yesterday. Just really solid. It's one of the third lowest day back in their third lowest out ever. Makes you wonder if we might be due for some inflows. Quick hedge here. He does some pretty good TA. I like to share some of his stuff. Market house. So trade zone. Last night I iterated that earlier. But probably one of the more important things to watch is Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs launch on the 30th. Also in line with what we talked about with bullish action in May based off of short term. Dig into that in just a bit. And then I just found this interesting that Jamie Dimon, even if we go into a recession, risk shape, I think it's got a touch already in credit card debt. And they say, sure, surely a recession will help that. I don't see how shape inflation's already been killing people, and recession layoffs. How it's going to be well if everyone. Just something I'm keeping an eye on very closely. What they're saying, especially Diamond. He oftentimes says the opposite. But then, all right, so let's take a quick look at the GBT close. See, it was down to 35 on the second. Excuse me, that was 2 days. So flows have been decreasing. Having them under 100 million, nice, and hopefully the trend that they are slowing down. Now they do still have 100,000, so in their reserves, still definitely still a lot of potential there, but they've many big, whatever it was, it has tiny compared to their actual ETF. Hopefully that'll some of the selling. Maybe we'll now let's go back to the daily chart here. I like to start on the monthly chart. That monthly chart, pretty good. Again, we've handled before and we've compared it to similar with market. Not really, especially had this nice solid wick at the bottom. Only got 6 days left, so it's something to keep an eye on for the final 6 days. Definitely want to keep closing above the close highs. Very important. Going. Our RSI has not been very overhot yet. Very nice. And the MACD is still pointing. Not hide the MACD. I'm going to drill into go on the weekly. Weekly's actually green at but trends on the past advance and also the RSI are down. So while things look kind of good, little monthly consolidation, weekly also consolidation. Not really a lot. I'm sure the MACD is positive. Look at the 5-day chart. Well, also notice the wicks. Talked about this already. Those are very, very good. The 5-day chart. I don't typically look at 5-day charts on the live stream. Different picture, and maybe you pick up on trend changes faster. So we got nearly a bounce from mid band, but they're still downtrending, just like with our 3-day now. And this is where the 3-day and 5-day chart have to show you where trend change. 3-day much tested the bottom. I know there's a pretty big gap there and there, but with them pinching like this, that's close. Expected reaction there, back up, band down from that. Potential trend, fantastic advance, like a downward channel, like further consolidation necessary. Looking at the chart, but there is potential here with value starting lower on the 1-day. Again, we've already talked about this one. RSI being this low in the trend change, very, but the cascade advance at resistance, so I very much back down to another area right around 1,000. That's also why we have a dip in the month, maybe a bounce last few days, another nice wick, and then once May starts, have live in Hong Kong, maybe last offer. Maybe we consolidate a little further, like I was showing. Either way, so let's see how today might go. Roll in from the daily to the hour consolidation. There's there, cascade advance, and RSI down. This close below the mid band here, I would consider a short hour down to 50, probably be around 4.8. So towards these bottom, at the very least, the hourly. Okay. Yeah, looks kind of bad. Let's see how we react. Quick off here. If we close just a little bit lower, you to indicators down, trading down. I definitely correct the term. 15-minute chart could kind of stall out here. Here's what's kind of concerning. You have that cluster of averages here, and with that, you have that potential trend change to flip the direction of these down. And on a 15-minute chart, that could last. So that to keep an eye on what's that ribbon underneath. Solid trend. So if I was a day trader and I'm looking, I am looking, and then also you're looking at a 5-minute chart. This would have been right. I wish I had looked just a little bit earlier, but we lose, get a lot of selling here, volume. Well, a lot of selling. The moving average is ribbon downward. Retest the mid band and get checked. I would love to put it around the band. Testing advance downward. RSI is up at the moment, but depending on how we close the 4 out, where I would make the moment already bounced a bit, I would maybe look for very, very quick trade on a version 5-minute chart. So get another dip back down, 0.57 on the 5-minute charts. That and Virgin RSI and on as advanced entry time chart time that 5-minute chart uh, bullish divergence. Now looking at the 1-minute chart, higher low, higher lows, high. Uh, right now, I'm not looking for on a minute chart. I would be for a divergent 5-minute chart, trying time 1-minute chart. That back out to the daily. I want to take a look at some of the big coins here. Nice up consolidation. Ethereum trends up on it. It actually looks better than Bitcoin. How it finishes. Hey, it can get above that band. Well, oh yeah, Ethereum looks really good on the. It looks a little bit as far as I don't know how great. We have a potential bottoming trend. Slow, slowly decreasing down here. It looks like rounding out, and then also RSI. This one's not looking so great, but got the week wicks in a row all the way down, down to the mid band. That's awesome. I would love to take off. Maybe the next, and maybe that's May. Like we're talking about, May boost all of crypto. Honestly, consolidating May will round out nicely. But back up to the upper band. Ethereum there, retesting all-time highs. But Gay looks pretty clean on this. Very much there for long Ethereum. That would drop. All right, back to daily. Let's very interesting. Trending down for a very long time. Broke at 5. Look at the weekly. Appears to also be rounding out a bottom. That there's a lot of thing to find about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Very, I would say as soon as it reclaimed key moving averages and start up, that would the monthly here. We don't have 100 month yet available on the base chart, available on yeah that, but that is around in try to look change right. Yeah, so it is bouncing right off 100, slightly different based on change being different, but RSI trend down very long time. The RSI it is record low on the RSI, and if you're very bullish, Ethereum, Bitcoin, okay, this is a very good area to take Ethereum. Got the downward trend where really if we consolidate here, finally break all these take off. Uh, but I do see some consolidation happening here. Honestly, a DCA here is not bad. If just hard. RSI on a month push on a series. Buy. Okay. So let's take a look at Litecoin. A little concerning. See how we finish the month. If nice wick on the bottom and back up around $100, bullish. Close down here, kind of. So this one is really dependent on how the monthly chart starting to score volatility. Probably the next like talk about volatility. Talk about months, stuff like that. You'll notice the bands on monthly are even tighter than they were. Look at the week. On the week, ejected from the two we've been talking about, it hasn't been able to get the two. But we do appear to be having some riveting, a nice bounce off of the average month value. Like right now, link interesting. Potential rounding bottom, bands bouncing off of the lower bands, kind of above the 200. We get another solid close above the 200. Around. Otherwise, we consolidate around here. A little trickier, but I like to bounce off the bottom. Again, got to claim that that's a margin of error. I don't that is back. The monthly on yeah, that screams consolidation. But again, how the month seems likely there's going to be a wick, but we've got that pop down. Classic advance RSI at the moment. But keep an eye on. Looks like there's going to be some close. A lot of Doge. Very simple on the month up a little, but it's got a great candle. The one thing you like about Doge when you pick bottom, looking at got a full slow down here, and might be build a bearish divergence. All right. Well, I think that's going to be all for the video today. I really appreciate you all. Make sure you all follow me on X. I do a live stream, and I try to share as much information as possible. I don't do a lot of fluff, a lot of advertising, but I share with you. Follow me on X. I'd appreciate that. Or if you want to like, subscribe here on YouTube. That. Thank you all. I hope everyone has a good day. I'll see you later.